What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host Josh, and today we're coming at you with a brand new series. And this is a pretty cool little series because we're going to keep this series ongoing until the Euros. And the series is going to be called Who Boards the Plane? And it's going to be about who boards the plane to the Euros for a specific country that we're going to do. And today's country is going to be none other than Germany. And it's going to be Germany for a few reasons. One, German runs in my family. A lot of you guys know this, but my dad's side of the family is German. My Oma was raised in a German-speaking household. I unfortunately didn't get that German-speaking influence in my life, but Germany does mean obviously a great deal to me. We're also doing the channel on Borussia Dortmund, which is a German club, obviously, and it just kind of seemed natural. But it's felt even more natural because I was gonna do this regardless. But then the article just came out, and it's probably a couple days ago before you guys are gonna end up watching this video, but it was stating the fact that Jogi Löw is staying on to the Euros. I already knew that. A lot of people already knew that because he had the contract that he's already tied down to. If they weren't already gonna let him go, they're not gonna do so right now. He's gonna get one last shot at doing something, and it's going to be in the 2020 Euros that is going to be played in 2021. And then 95% he's gonna be gone because he has made some crazy decisions. He's done some wonderful things. He's been here since 2006. He's always compete. Germany's always a club to do so many fantastic things on top of demolishing the 2014 World Cup, and rightly so deserved that one. But ever since that 2014 World Cup, he's made some bold decisions, and the team has just looked honestly poor. And I wanted to get this video out after this 6-0 defeat against Spain, which was just honestly probably the lowest point of Jogi Löw's tenure here. But it came at kind of an eye-opening moment, but everyone was calling for his head. People have been calling for his head for a while now, but it's just not gonna come. It's not the way that it's gonna happen, and he's more than likely, like I said, gonna leave after he gets his one last shot. And the German FA just solidified that by saying he will be here. So this is where this fun little series is gonna come in, because I'm going to tell you the 23 players that I would pick if I was Jogi Löw. If Jogi Löw came out to me and said, Josh, what would you do? I'd say sit down, let's talk about it. And I'm gonna just go over these players as to why I think that they will make it, and then I will give you my best 11 at the end of the video. I will do this for many different countries on the way to the Euros, and we may even do some twice. This is so long from the Euros, like we have no idea. There could be injuries and whatnot, but I'm speaking as if everyone was healthy right now going in, and what I would tell Jogi Löw. Coming closer to it, we may do Germany again when we may know if certain players are gonna get called upon again, or if certain players are injured. So it'll be ongoing, it should be fun, so let's just dive right in. So looking at the goaltenders, you can get 3 goaltenders that you pick for Germany. It's not really much of a debate, especially with 2. Manuel Neuer is gonna be one of the goaltenders for sure. I don't need to praise Manuel Neuer. I definitely don't want to, being a Dortmund supporter, but he's a fantastic goaltender, and he's in incredible form. Even losing games this year for Bayern, he somehow has been the standout player, as well as, and even in that 6-0 defeat against Spain, he's really shows that just he's aging very well as a goalkeeper, and he will more than likely be the starter, not to give anything away. But looking at their backup goalie, the number 2 will obviously be Marc-Andre ter Stegen. There's no other real German goaltenders that can really challenge those 2 for a starting spot. So Marc-Andre will definitely be on the bench. And then the third goalie, I was debating between Leno and Trapp, but for me, I think Leno is just a little bit better. He plays in honestly a better team, Arsenal's, than Frankfurt. I know that Frankfurt will probably receive more shots, but I do like Leno. I think he's a solid goalie, and I think he'll more than likely, in my opinion, as well as probably Jogi Löw's, be the 3rd string goaltender. Now going over to the right back position, which has been a real eye-opener watching Jogi Löw in the past few games, playing Ginter on a right wing back position, which is just, if you know how talented Ginter is and you know his pace and what he's good at, you don't put him on right back. You don't certainly put him at right wing back. He's a center back. So with that being said, there are 2 names. There aren't a lot of, I had to do some real research to see who even I could try to compare, but because I want to give players minutes. People who should play for the national team should be getting a lot of minutes, and it's not something that he's been criticized about. So for me, our one of the right backs that we want to go with, he's actually been playing a lot as an outside center back, is Lucas Klostermann. Klostermann is absolutely rapid. He's a very quick player. He's very, very technically gifted, and he's played the right back position on top of the fact that he gets minutes and he's a solid player. The other right back, I mean, I don't want to talk him up because I don't think he is unbelievable, but that's Benjamin Henrich. And he obviously had some struggles leaving Leverkusen over to Monaco, but he's back in the Bundesliga. He is, I guess, the most natural right wing back in that system right now because Klosterman, like I said, has dropped more into that outside center back, but both of them can play in that right back position. Both get a decent amount of minutes and both are actually quick and it's their position. So for me, the right back position, those two is really a no-brainer. Then looking at our 4 center backs, and this is where the fun happens for Jurgen Löw, because if he asks me and I say, listen, this is your last shot. You don't want to go out with people remembering that awful 6-0 defeat against Spain, and also you're in the group of death. You have Portugal, the Euro reigning champion. You have the world champions in France. You even have a pretty solid Hungary team. There's a realistic chance we can go out in the groups, not even in the groups, yeah, in the group stage. And it's just something you don't want to do. You have such a decent legacy here. Suck it up. Go approach some players. If I were him, I'm texting Hummels, I'm texting Boateng, and I'm texting Muller, and I'm getting them in a room, and I am saying, I am so sorry. I wanted to go younger. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. This is my last shot. I don't need to worry about the future because I promise you Jurgen Löw is not staying past the Euros. So I would beg these players to come back, and I can promise you they more than likely would. They love playing for their country. They've done so many wonderful things. They've all won a World Cup together. Let's go out with a bang. So that being said, the 4 German center backs that I would go with, just specifically off of form, chemistry. You want to get a team together and go far, you need players who play together, who have played together. I'm going Mats Hummels, Jerome Boateng, Niklas Süle, and Matthias Ginter. And that is just on pure performance in the Bundesliga, as well as experience of even playing together. Hummels, Boateng, Süle have all played together many of times, and Matthias Ginter, in my opinion, who has played with Hummels in the past, and even in the German national team, is honestly a sensational center back, and Gladbach's got a gem with him. But those are the 4 center backs I do. And looking at who started with Rudiger and Knock, it's just been challenging watching those center back pairings, and those 4 names just sound so much better in my opinion. But we jump on over to the left back position, and again, kind of similar to the right, there's been some real questionable left back choices for Jurgen Löw, but he did bring someone in recently who actually had, unfortunately, a poor game in the Spain one, but played pretty well against Ukraine, and that is Philipp Max. And I just think that what he's doing after leaving Augsburg, I always thought he'd go to a top 5 kind of team, like a Wolfsburg would be, in my opinion, would have been a good team for him, even a Leverkusen, but he ended up going to PSV. He's doing wonderful. Honestly, he's doing fantastic there. He's getting lots of goals, goal contributions, and he's a solid left back, and it's a position he likes to play. And then I would look for Guzens. Guzens obviously playing more as a left wing back, but can play as a left back. He's doing sensational for a team playing the Champions League, competing for Serie A. Those are my 2 left backs. Probably more natural left back would be Max, but at least Guzens gives you a little versatility as well, and I mean, he's more reliable than, unfortunately, even as a Dortmund fan, putting Schultz in there, who doesn't start at all. He's getting called up to the national team, and people are scratching their heads, rightfully so. Get players in there who are competing week in, week out, who are playing and even competing in the Champions League like Guzens is, and the Europa League like Max is. And it's just, yeah, those are the players that I want to see getting minutes out there with their club and can come in and do a job for the national team. Which then leads us up to the central midfielders, and I am trying to base it down to 2 players per position all the way up. This team's a little bit different. The formation I'm looking to do, to spoiler alert, is the 4-2-3-1. So looking at the 4-5-ish center mids, center defensive mids, we're looking at Joshua Kimmich. Obviously, he's in sensational form, one of Germany's best center defensive mids. I know I'm a Dortmund fan, it hurts to say, but he honestly is. Toni Kroos, he's been with the team for years. We can't really go wrong with him. He's very good on the ball. He's playing at the high level with Real Madrid, and he's been around with the team for many years, and it's not quite his time to hang up the boots and get out of the squad yet, so I absolutely still see him in there. Gundogan as well, a little versatility. He can give you a little bit going forward, a little bit coming back, and I think he can bring just a decent amount of grit to the team. He had a horrible outing again in the Spain game, as did Toni Kroos, but I still don't think that justifies him not being in the starting 11 or even on the bench for us. And then I'm going to look at Emre Can. I think Can can also give you a little versatility if you're deciding to switch more into that 3-4-3 formation with Guzens and even Klosterman. You absolutely can do. And Emre Can just gives you that little bit of center defensive mid as well as that potential to go as that right center back. So it's clever to kind of be able to do that because you never know really what the tournament will bring. And then finally, for the other little center defensive mid there, we're going to go with Goretzka. Of course, he's obviously in sensational form as well. He's got that chemistry going with Kimmich, and those are the 5 center mids slash center attacking slash center defensive. They can kind of go all over, which is a good bit of versatility going with them. Now looking up as the one center attacking mid that we're going to have, it's going to be Thomas Müller. And it's going to be Thomas Müller because we can also, as his backup, even throw Gundogan or switch into a 3-4-3, which is when you don't obviously need a center attacking mid. But for right now, I'm going to put Thomas Müller as our center attacking mid, which leaves the wings. We have Gnabry, we have Sané. I don't need to go into why they're there. They're obviously Germany's top 2 wingers, and they definitely deserve to be there. And we also have Kai Havertz and Marco Reus. Not being biased with Marco Reus, but I think Marco is going to catch fire this year. Seeing that last Cologne game with him, it just kind of showed the kind of player he can be. He's versatile. I know he's not that winger he once was, but the fact that he can even drop into the center attacking mid, false 9 type of player, he's very versatile, which is something that, again, you need in these type of tournaments. Same as Kai Havertz, is obviously young, talented, and can definitely do a job. Which then goes up top. And up top, there are 2 real options, sort of. It's hard to debate, but the one you can't go wrong with, and he's your striker, he's your main man, and that is Timo Werner. Also very versatile. We know he can play on the wings, but for Germany, looking at their striking options, it's going to be Werner. And also the extra player that we're going to have up there, and he's another very versatile player. I'm hoping he can find his feet a little bit more, and that is going to be Julian Brandt. And I know that I'm going off of minutes, but I mean, Julian Brandt does play minutes. He's been with the national team for a while. He can play as your false 9, same as Marco Reus, and he can definitely offer some going forward depending on what kind of formation you're playing. But looking at the other actual striker options, there just wasn't enough for me to justify them going in that starting 11. And for me, that is 23 players who get minutes, who've been around, who've been in the national team, and can have chemistry with each other. So going off of that, if it was a do or die situation, and I'm picking 11 German national players to start, we're gonna go with the 4-2-3-1. It's a formation that Jurgen Löw is familiar with. It can, I mean, the 4-3-3 and the 3-4-3 are definitely 2 formations that can be played, but just looking at what this team can bring, the formation that stood out to me was a 4-2-3-1. A lot of balance, we know that, and can utilize a lot of players' talents. So looking at goal, we're gonna go with Manuel Neuer. Ter Stegen puts up a fight, but honestly, it can hurt to say, but looking at Manuel Neuer this season, he's playing much better than Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be Germany's starting goalkeeper, and I don't think he's going to give that job up anytime soon. At right back, we're going with Lucas Klostermann. How much better does that sound than saying Matthias Ginter? No offense to Ginter, you're a center back, but Klostermann is a right back, and he can play that job sensational. He's so versatile. There's a lot of versatile players in the squad, this 23-man squad, but even in the starting 11, there's going to be some. But that's what I want on the right-hand side. It's going to be Klostermann with, honestly, Boateng and Hummels as our center backs. And I'm going off of the tournament. I'm going off the chemistry, and these 2 players can play well together. Ginter and Süle could probably both jump over and just talent as of right now, but going off of chemistry with each other, going off of playing together and knowing what it means to play for this national team, I want those 2 out on the pitch right now, with the left back being Max, just because Philip Max has got a little bit more defensive awareness than Guzens does. He has played more in the back 4 as a left back than Guzens, who's more of a left wing back. But that's a back 4 I really like. Then that goes into our center defensive mid, where we're going to have Toni Kroos along with Joshua Kimmich. I think that Kimmich brings a lot of stability defensively, very gifted and talented player on the ball. Same as Kroos, who is an excellent passer, we know that, but there could be arguments that Goretzka should maybe deserve to be in there as that, because he plays a lot with Kimmich and they have a great partnership together, but I think it's tough to take Toni Kroos out of the starting 11, and I think Kimmich will complement him pretty well, which then leaves the front 4. The wingers are pretty self-explanatory. We're going to have Leroy Sané on the right, cutting in on his left, and Gnabry on the left, cutting in on his right. Very talented wingers, those 2 are, and obviously they can be so interchangeable that either one can go on the left, either one can go on the right, so it doesn't really matter where you put them, but they're going to be in that starting 11, which then leaves the center attacking mid as Thomas Müller. And I said Jurgi Löw's got to get some begging going. It's because we want Boateng, we want Hummels, we want Müller. I'm a Dortmund fan, but I can see what this German national team needs. It needs that leadership. It needs that grit. And honestly, as much as he's my man, Thomas Müller can bring that. And he's definitely brought it for the men's national team over the years. And I think as that center attacking mid and form in itself, it's very hard to question putting anyone else in that center attacking mid, which then leaves Timo Werner as our striker. And to me, that starting 11, I mean, like I said, there could be some debates, especially with Boateng and even in the center defensive midfielder position. But overall, in my opinion, that starting 11 is 10 times better than the starting 11 that Jurgi Löw stuck out there against Spain. And even if we don't put Müller, Hummels, and Boateng in there, there's still other replacements than some of the players that we saw. But if I was Löw, this is coming from me right now, I would go approach those 3 players. You know that they want to come back. They love playing for their country. And that is the starting 11 that I would look to do. Those are the 23 players that I would bring. They would board the plane and they would come with us to the Euros. So I'm hoping, and I know that this video is going to have a lot of debate. A lot of people have been reaching out to me on Twitter and saying Löw's staying, and they're pissed off and they're angry, and I get it, but you had to already know it's coming. They're not going to fire him right now. He's got his contract. He's going to do his last little hurrah with the Euros, but let's hope he makes it count because there is a good squad there. I think those 23 players could give up a better fight than the ones that he's been putting out there in the last few weeks and few games. So I definitely want to hear your guys' opinion. Let me know what you think. I'm sure I left out some players that will offend you. I'm sorry if I did. This is my personal opinion, and those are the players that I would want representing Germany for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a fun one to make, and definitely let me know what other countries you want me to do. I'm thinking just because of Dortmund players, I'm probably going to do either England or Belgium next, but definitely keep letting me know. I want to do this series throughout on the way to the Euros, because as much as we criticize and get angry that the international break is here because it puts a stop to the game and the club that we love, tournaments get you excited. World Cup, Euros, Copa America, I love watching those tournaments. So don't make me think, don't let me show you that I don't like these kind of international games, because I absolutely do. I love them, and the tournaments, that's all I want to do is get up in the morning and watch the Euros or the World Cup or whatever it may be all day long. So I definitely want to show a little bit of love to the channel. So I'm hoping to be able to bring in a lot of these different who's going to board the plane little opinion pieces to you guys throughout the course of the year. So definitely let me know what other countries you want me to do. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you are new around here, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.